Hey everybody, welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie Jessica.
So what's our video today?
We're doing one we've been working on for a while. You guys asked for it and we loved the idea. So we are doing dark sports.
Yeah, so it's going to be dark.
Buckle up.
And check your triggers.
Yes.
All right, before we get started with that.
So make sure you hit that subscribe button. We love to give away free books on our channel. So you have to subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
let's do it.
subscribe. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have 10 recs for you. We're just going to dive right into the good stuff. But again, you know, they're dark, so check your triggers.
Yeah, I don't have any swimming related. No diving on for me for dark sports.
I don't really have either. Huh. Funny how that happens. Okay, so the first book that I have with the dark sports is Counts of 8 by Bren Ford. This is about Anya and Ezra. Anya is a ballerina for the Bratva. She was kidnapped when she was younger. She's forced to entertain them. She's forced to be their ballerina, their prima ballerina. She does not have a partner. Apparently, every time she gets a partner, if they fail, she's tortured, he's tortured, and then he's killed because that tortures her. So they end up kidnapping Ezra, who is a dancer, to be her new partner.
Oh no.
And things are dark and depraved, and they go kind of crazy. But yeah, it's dark. It's sports.
All right, my first rec is called Yours Forever. And this is a series, but the first two go together, and then the others you can just continue reading if you want to, but there's no cliffhanger. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the author's name because I will definitely get it wrong. So just go ahead and refer to the book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is about Mace, and they call her Sass or Sassy. And they've been best friends since they were little kids, but like his dad is a horrible person, and she tries to kind of protect him from the dad, but the dad is just awful, like very abusive. And something happens at 16 and they get separated. I don't want to give things away, but they get separated and she's devastated, and she ends up getting a dance scholarship to a prestigious college, and she knows he goes to school there. So she's very excited to find him, and it does not go the way she thought it was. He is not happy to see him, or her, excuse me. He is now an MMA fighter, and he is like very, very angry that she is here talking to him at all. And she doesn't understand why.
Okay.
It's pretty dark. Definitely check triggers, but I don't know that we need to keep saying that for
No, we
dark
said at the
sports.
beginning, you guys are on your own now. Okay. So the next book that I have is one I've talked about a couple of times. This is The Catcher by Kate Raven. This is a dark baseball bully romance. So this one is about Emrys and Tanner. Emrys is a teacher, but she used to work in the sports industry, like as a PR manager. And poor Tanner here, he's just not doing well. He's a complete a-hole, and that's just coming out everywhere. So one of her friends that still works in PR management for the sports industry kind of ropes her into coming and being his PR manager. And so she has to walk into this, and for over the summer when she's not teaching, she needs the money. And so she goes to do that, and he's not good to her at all. There's not a lot of gravel. It says there's gravel. There's not a lot of gravel. If you blink, you'll miss it, but it's there. So it was great.
All right, my next one is called The Way We Dance, and this is by Katie Ray. This will probably be on the lighter side of my dark sports, but it still has some very dark elements. So Tyson is a tight end, and he has been struggling. His brother has gotten into drugs, but him and his brother grew up in a pretty crappy life, and so they like kind of really stuck together. And while Tyson got into sports and was able to go pro playing football, his brother chose kind of an alternative path and became involved into drugs and dealing and things like that. And so he's just really, really struggled with not cutting ties with his brother, but keeping himself like out of his brother's business. And then we have Giselle, who is just extremely uptight, and she's been working very hard. She started a ballet studio, and she's just, even the way she talks is almost annoying because she's so like such a frigid ballerina. And he ends up needing to go see her, arranged by the coach because for some footwork. And like to learn, you know, a lot of football players actually take dance to work on their footwork. So he ends up doing these private lessons with her, and he's not happy to be there. She's not really happy that he's there either. And then some things start happening to her, and he starts to feel like he needs to be very protective of her and keep her safe from things that are happening. I really enjoyed this one.
Okay.
I love a protective hero.
Yeah. Yeah. So one author that does dark sports really well is S. Mastery. She has her hockey series. It is so good. The one that I'm going to talk about, though, is her latest release, and it's in a separate series. But this is The Pucking Coach's Daughter. And this one is actually why I choose her. Other ones are straight, you know, male-female relationships. I think they were all male-female. This one is why I choose. So this one is about Sydney, and this one isn't insanely dark. It's a bully romance, but there are dark elements. But the way she does it, it makes you feel like it's kind of funny as a part of that guy's character. So anyhow, so this is about Sydney. So where she lives, there's 2 colleges, they're rival schools. She's attending one. Her father is the coach of the hockey team at the other school. She finds out that something has gone missing, and one of the thing that she's looking for that's gone missing, we find out later in the book what it is, but the captain of the hockey team that her father coaches has that item in his house. So she breaks into his house to try to get it. She can't find it. So instead she ends up finding his playbook, and she takes pictures of the plays for the hockey team, and she gives it to her ex-boyfriend, who is at her college on their hockey team. So they now have the opposite college's playbook, which costs her dad's team the championship. And it makes she gets kicked out of school because she's there on scholarship and she can't do that kind of thing. So she ends up having to go to the college that she screwed over because her dad finagles it so that she can go to school there. And that's when the whole team comes for her, and the whole school pretty much. So she kind of did it to herself, but you know.
My next book is When We Lied by Claire Contreras. This is number 2 in the Fairview hockey series. And we have Jocelyn and Finn who meet in a sex club. Normally, I don't like sex clubs, like books around sex clubs. I just don't. I like a possessive hero. But anyway, in this one, the 2 of them end up hooking up because when she gets there, her boyfriend all of a sudden changes his mind and is like, if you want to do stuff, great. And he runs off to go do things with other women. And she's just like, wait, what? So she ends up hooking up with Finn. And then 4 years later, they meet back up and Finn is back and he wants answers because his sister was killed in a fire at a sex club that Mallory's his sister, that Jocelyn was with Mallory at this sex club. And he wants some answers, like what happened? How was she killed? But Jocelyn is also looking for the same answers about what happened, and the sun is really in her eyes right now.
Yeah.
We're going to need to readjust here. So that is When We Lied.
What kind of sports is that, though?
It is hockey. I said Fairview hockey, number 2 in the Fairview hockey.
Oh, that's where I missed that part.
Yeah. Yes.
We had to adjust due to the sun in our eyeballs. Okay. So, okay. So the next book that I have, I don't always think about it when it's when we talk about sports, but sports plays a huge role in this book. And I'm sure like 99% of you guys have read it already, but Twisted Loyalties by Cora Riley. Out of all the rereads I do on Cora Riley's, I've never actually reread this one. I probably should, because that's just rude to Fabiano and Leona. But this is their book. Fabiano we've seen him grow up through her other series, her Born in Blood series. He is now part of the Camorra. He is in Las Vegas and he is their enforcer. The other thing that they do is they do a lot of MMA fighting, underground MMA fighting. And so this whole book revolves around the MMA club where they do the fighting. And that's where he runs into Leona. He actually sees her, I think, walking down the street or something. She gets a job there. And they end up crossing paths quite a bit. But her dad is the one who owes the Camorra money. And Fabiano has to take care of that because he's the enforcer. So there's a lot of like conflicting feelings here. So loved this one. I really did. It's just, I love the other one so much more. So they're meaner.
Okay, my next one is Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan. This is about Iris and August. So August meets Iris and he feels that they just have this instant connection. He wants her number. Like he feels like he's met the one. And he's super disappointed to find out Iris has a boyfriend. And then he's even more disappointed when he learns Iris's boyfriend is his kind of almost direct rival, Caleb, who plays on a different basketball team. And this is like pro basketball, like NBA basketball. And they continue to see each other at different events and things throughout, like, I think it's about a year that this goes on or so. And he starts to realize that Caleb is not treating Iris well. And there is some very, very, like, it was painful to read abuse on page. So just be forewarned about that. Mm-hmm. Still a very good story, though. And he just wants nothing more than to help Iris. But could his help make things worse for Iris? Mm-hmm. And what's Iris going to do? Like, she's kind of stuck for varying reasons in a pretty bad situation.
Yeah. Okay.
It was very good, though.
It was
very emotional.
Good. Very hard to read, though.
Yes.
Definitely is. So, okay. So the last book that I have, you can't actually get it on Kindle, but you can order this on Amazon. You can get the physical copy on Amazon. At some point, it will be back on Kindle because this is Raise by Tilly Cole. This is the bind up of Raise and Reap, which are the first 2 books in the series. But you can get the physical copy now, or you could wait. Tilly did tell us when we saw her earlier this summer that everything will be coming back on to Kindle soon. But if you can't wait till then, you got this. So this one is about Prisoner 818. And I'm just going to read you guys the back. It's been years since I read it. I loved it when I did. It's very small, the blurb on the back. It just makes more sense if I read it so I don't forget or like say something I'm not supposed to. So conditioned to captivity to become a dangerous weapon, Prisoner 818 is an unstoppable fighter in the ring. Violence is all he knows. After years of incarceration in an underground hell, he has only one thought: get revenge on the man who wronged him. Kisa Volkova is the only daughter of the head of the infamous Red bosses of New York's Russian Bratva. Her father's savage treatment of his rivals and his lucrative underground gambling ring. The dungeon ensures that nowhere is safe, even as she dreams of a life far away from her brutal prison. One evening, Kisa stumbles upon a tattooed, scarred, but stunningly beautiful homeless man on the streets. Something about him stirs feelings deep within her, familiar yet impossibly forbidden desires. A mysterious silent man. Kisa yearns for him, craves his touch, and that this man they call Raise. So I loved it. There's a lot to this book. It's a very deep story, but yeah. So he's a fighter, and he's silent. He doesn't speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, no dark sports romance would be complete without the Pucking Wrong series by C.R. Jane. So I grabbed the Pucking Wrong Date, which is probably my favorite in the series. I just love Walker, or Disney as we know him as. So this is about Olivia and Walker. Olivia reminds me a lot of Britney Spears. So if we just kind of think about the conservatorship that she was in and that sort of thing, you will have Olivia pretty much. Mm-hmm. Her mom and her agent control her, and she has stopped singing and performing because she has no control over her life. So she just refuses to do it, but they still control her, and like horrific things have happened to her at the hands of her mom and her agent. And she is one time able to go to a hockey game with, like, I think it's a cousin or something. And she's allowed to go, which, like, she's an adult, but she still has to get permission to, like, leave her house and stuff. It's just brutal. And at this hockey game, Walker sees her and he is in love. And she's pretty, like, sassy back to him, but he is in love with her. And so he finds out who she is. And he wants, like, nothing more than to make everything better for her. And she's pretty guarded and closed off. And she's embarrassed that, like, she's not able to do anything and can't make simple decisions for herself. And so she's really embarrassed by that. It's heartbreaking, but he still just loves her so much and wants to make it better. So it does have some pretty dark elements in it, but it's so good. It's not like, I don't know how to describe it. It's different than other dark
It's kind of like the S Mastery book that I was talking
It's
about.
so
There's
good.
dark elements to it, but it's not so overly dark.
I guess what makes it better is that the hero has nothing to do with the darkness at all. Like we know he's 100%, like he's kind of a cinnamon roll hero in many ways. And we have, if you've read the other books, you know about Grandma Airways. We have Grandma Airways back. We have the Circle of Trust. Like it is hilarious. There's a lot of funny stuff in here.
I think the funny stuff
Loved
lightens
it.
up some of the dark. You don't realize how dark it is because you're reading something that's funny in certain books. So yeah,
that whole series.
All right, guys. So that's it. That is your top 10 dark sports recs.
Yes. So hit that subscribe button and that notification button, and make sure you check back for new videos from us on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.